This is the Blairing Out with Eric Blair show, and today I'm pleased to have lead singer of Stryper, Michael Sweet, on the show. Michael,
what's up, buddy?
How you doing?
Good to see you, man.
You too. How's your tour been going?
It's been going good. We're out, just trying to spread the word that we're still alive, and we have a new album out, The Covering, and we're performing some of those songs live as well, and they're really going over great, man.
Why did you feel it was time to do an album like The Covering?
If you are a fan of the band and you know the history of the band prior to Stryper, we were a cover band way back in the day when we were Rox and Rox Regime playing the Hollywood club scene. We did a lot of these songs live when we were a trio, and a lot of people don't even remember that, but we were a trio.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only guitar player for a while, and that was actually fun. A lot more work, but fun. So we've been playing covers from the very beginning, and then we started sound checking with covers, and then we added a song on Fire in 1990, 91, and then we added Breaking the Law a few years ago, and the response was so well received. We just thought, wow, this is interesting, because you think Christian band doing mainstream secular covers, you think, wow, we're going to get a lot of flack for it, but we didn't. It was a very positive response. And then we had a lot of people over the years asking us, where are your musical roots? Where do they lie? Who are your influences? We get that question all the time. So we just thought it would be really cool and fun and appropriate to show people who our influences are in a record. So that's why we decided to do it.
And then tell me about the artwork.
Artwork was something, kind of an idea of mine to show, even though it's a cover album of mainstream secular songs, we wanted to still have a message, because that's really what we're all about. That's why we ended the album with the song God, mm-hmm. which is a very bold song musically and lyrically. The artwork, we wanted to tell a story with that, and what that story that we're trying to convey with the artwork is, there's this character that's fallen, that's gone to the dark side, an angel on the cover, mm-hmm. and has the battle wounds and the scars to show the hell that he's been through. And then by the covering of God, of Christ, and the transforming power of that, comes back, to Christ, basically, to the good side. So that's pretty much it in a nutshell. And then if you look at the artwork inside, there's 4 other characters. Those are supposed to represent us.
Okay.
They're a lot bigger and badder and buffer than we are, but it's exactly what we wanted to convey. The only problem is you're somewhat limited. There's a lot more we wanted to do, mm-hmm. and make a real serious comic book almost out of it. Eventually, we're actually talking to companies about the possibility of a comic book.
As far as these songs go, I picked 3 songs, and I'm just wondering what were your first memories of these songs? And one of them is Lights Out by UFO.
Lights Out. One of my first memories with that particular song would be getting a ride home every day from Oz in his Datsun pickup truck, and we would blast UFO and Scorpions. And just for the 10-15 minute ride home down Washington Boulevard, UFO it was every day. It was like, getting into it, and just going home and learning the solos and learning the songs and whatnot. And a big influence of ours, UFO. You could probably hear that. There's a song called More Than a Man. Mm-hmm. Dun, 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 dun. It's kind of got that Lights Out vibe to it. UFO is a huge influence of ours.
Over the Mountain by Ozzy Osbourne.
Over the Mountain. Remember hearing that song and just being floored. Obviously, the first time I heard Randy, I believe it was Crazy Train that I heard first, just blew my mind. Randy is an influence of both Oz's and mine, but I think that's Randy. My style is a little more geared towards Randy's as far as my technique and stuff. I'm not saying I'm even 1/3 the guitar player, 1/4 the guitar player of Randy, or 1/8 the guitar player. He's just brilliant. But I was really drawn to that style, the way he played, his tone, his style of playing. I think Oz was really drawn to Eddie Van Halen's style, which I love too. Mm-hmm. Eddie's fantastic. So you kind of hear that in both of our playing styles, and Oz is a huge fan of Randy too, obviously. But I just remember hearing Randy and thinking, wow, who in the world is this guy? Crazy. And Ozzy's always been known for having the best musicians.
Shout It Out Loud by Kiss.
Kind of stepping out on a limb here a little bit. I never was a really big Kiss fan. And I was I was a fan, but not like a diehard.
Oh, okay.
My brother Robert was a diehard. He literally made Kiss costumes, and we, kind of encouraged the neighborhood to dress up like Kiss. I dressed up as Paul Stanley. He was Ace Frehley. He really got into it, and I think that has kind of somehow taken root in Robert's spiel, so to speak. Rob's really about the look. Taping the drums, the big lights, the signs, and everything, So because Kiss is one of his favorite bands, he loves Kiss, and I love Kiss too. But definitely, that's more of a Robert influence, I think, more so than say UFO is a Michael influence, that sort of thing.
Now you cover "Heaven and Hell" by Black Sabbath, the Dio version, Mark II of Black Sabbath. And I'm wondering how you felt about the passing of Ronnie James Dio.
Well, we had decided to do the song prior to Ronnie passing, so we made the decision to do that before that. But when we found out he was sick, obviously, and we were blown away and praying for him, really thinking about him and praying for him. And then when we found out he passed, as the world was, we were shocked because it was so sudden. It happened so quickly, it seemed to. And we did a show with Dio at Irvine Meadows, and I talked to Ronnie for maybe 15 minutes or so. And man, everything that you've heard about him is absolutely 100% legit and true. He was the sweetest guy, the most humble guy, an amazing human being.
Now, as far as the lyrics to "Heaven and Hell," how do you mentally and spiritually approach those lyrics?
Well, if you read the lyrics, there's nothing in those lyrics except maybe one line, which I left out.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
I left out in the end. I say, look for the answers instead of repeating, you've got to bleed for the dancer.
Yeah.
I sang, look for the answers, and repeated that. And even that line is like, what's he talking about? Who knows? It doesn't specify in the Bible who the dancer is, or So whatever that means. But the lyrics to that song, if you just sit and read them, those are lyrics that we, Stryper, would have penned, and feel completely, absolutely comfortable singing. They're just talking about good versus evil, heaven and hell,
and the struggle of living in this world.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
And it's they're dead on the money. They're right on lyrics. They're powerful lyrics, and I sing them every night with conviction and feel comfortable singing them.
Yeah, you guys did a great job last night of
well, it's different. It's probably different hearing me sing Dio. I sound nothing like Dio. Dio has that just incredibly powerful, it's almost like, Styx, Dennis DeYoung singing Dio,
Yeah.
No, but I love singing that song. I think if you sing a song with conviction, that's all that matters. That's what moves people.
How do you feel that your faith or your belief in Christ has changed over the years being in Stryper?
I think my faith has changed, hopefully, in great ways, for the better. And I think it's gotten a lot deeper. I've gone through a lot, man. We all have. But just since I'm here speaking for myself, I've gone through a lot. And a lot of tests, a lot of trials and tribulations, and I've gotten through it by the strength of Christ, period, man. Because I don't think I know I couldn't have gotten through it on my own. So because of all the things that I've gone through, I think it's made me a man who is a little bit deeper. I tend to look at life in a different way now, and I value life much more so, and I respect life much more so than I did when I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I didn't really, you think you're,
You feel invincible.
Invincible, unstoppable, and nothing can hurt you. You're going to live forever. And then you're 48 years old and you've gone through all these things and you realize, no, that's not the case. You're not going to live forever. We're all going to die someday. And it makes you realize how important it is to make the most and the best of every moment,
Right
and
on.
be a good example, be a great human being. So that's what you leave. That's your legacy.
The Blaring Out Show.